Who's calling you Eric now these days? Anyone?
Nobody. And I never. See, that's the funny thing. It's like you guys have portrayed it that I wanted to be called that, which I never did. By you
Nobody
guys,
wants
anyway.
to be called the name they changed their name to.
Why did you change your name if you didn't want to be called Eric?
It was for personal reasons. Well, you never do anything for personal reasons?
No. I know that, but what good is it if everyone's still calling you Fred?
Because that's what everybody's used to. What am I going to do?
But why change your name?
It's like somebody gets a bad haircut in this place, and it's like, everybody calls attention to it. If I change my name, my God, it would never
you
stop.
changed your name legally to Eric.
Correct.
And yet no one calls you Eric. Usually people who do that, their name, like everyone called you Eric anyway, so they figured, well, legally I'll change it to Eric. No one calls you Eric. Your wife doesn't call you Eric.
No, she doesn't.
You don't call you Eric. Your kid doesn't call you Eric. There's no one here. Robin and I don't call you.
Does the kid know your name is Eric?
I don't know, Robin. I'll have to ask her.
You know what? I'm going to call you Eric. I'm going to be the one guy. I want to be.
He's the one guy in here that's got a decent heart.
I'm going to call him Eric.
It's like a man having a sex change operation and continuing to live as a man.
Yeah.
Like he's got the vagina and everything, and now he won't put the dress on.
Right. Why'd you go to all the trouble?
It's not quite that drastic.
It's a
funny thought, but not quite that drastic.
No, it's crazy to go to legally change your name to Eric, and then no one calls you Eric.
Well, I also legally changed my last name, so I
Well, that's different because everybody uses that
right.
last name. In other words, Norris is a name we all say, Fred Norris. So of course he changed it legally. That I understand. No one's going to argue that.
Well, as long as I was doing it, I figured I'd do both.
But no one calls you Eric.
And nor do I insist.
Why, Norris is not the name you grew up with, Fred?
No, it is not.
I never knew that. Wow.
See, there you go. You learn something new every day.
Never knew that.
Norris was the name of his stepfather, who was a good guy to him. His real father wasn't.
Now I get it. All right.
I was hoping.
But do you get the Eric part?
Not really, no, but I don't know if I want to delve into it. I mean, Fred obviously had some family issues that,
I had a ton of family issues.
I mean, that are kind of dark, and it's his own thing he's got going on there.
But nobody uses the name.
Well, it's one of those changes you make in life where you still give people an option. Like, if you change your phone number, they have to learn the new phone number.
Do you understand something? If your name, let's say Fred Norris is the name that he has.
Right.
Okay. What if he went in and changed his name to Fred Cohen? And he says, I'm not going to tell anybody, but I'm Fred Norris.
I'd say that's a little extreme.
You would? So then why would you change your name to Eric if nobody uses it?
Because it felt good.
No. But then why would you change your name to Fred Weinstein?
It felt good to me to do that.
It makes me feel sad that he wanted to abandon that life so bad and just start something so completely new and different.
Well, listen, he had a tough time with his real father. I understand the Norris thing. He took on the name Norris. He always liked that better.
So why not say, now I'm Eric?
What is the significance of Eric?
I think I actually might start using Eric so I can get away from Robin.
So
and that
Eric,
fucking voice.
So Eric is the guy that gets away from Robin, and Fred is the one that has to be with him.
Eric's the lucky one. He doesn't have to listen to that shit.
So Eric is your lucky persona, and Fred's
That's my lucky persona.
All right.
Eric is hearing none of this right now?
Eric is hearing none of this crap.
Eric's away from here.
Eric's on an island in Anguilla.
Eric is a million miles away from this fucking
Eric's getting
nonsense.
blown by some island chick in Anguilla.
Exactly. And I'm resting a scotch on her head.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, my goodness.
Fred will go up on a stage in New Orleans doing the dance. Jazz.
Nah, I'm not a dancer, sorry.
But
your wife Allison calls you Fred, not Eric.
That would be correct.
Right.
But you don't even
she wasn't in on this, so.
Did you tell her you changed it to Eric when you were doing it? And what did she think of that? That no one calls you Eric and you were changing your name to Eric?
I don't think I put it to her that way.
Right.
What'd you say to her?
I think I put it to her my own way, which was not your way, which is not as funny.
What did you say?
What did you say?
No, I said here's the deal. I've always hated the name Fred. And and my mother was going to name me Eric, and for some reason, my father, my biological father, said, no, you can't name him Eric because it was the name of an old boyfriend of hers. And I said, well, I don't have the father, so fuck him. I'm going to take the name.
So it's really a hostile thing towards your real father.
Basically, yeah.
Right. I was going to ask what the significance of Eric was, and now I know.
That's pretty much it.
Oh, man.
Then I would actually definitely want to use it.
Right.
Well, how's he going to do that?
Yeah, I'm going to do that with somebody like you around.
He'd have to wear a big shirt that says, call me Eric.
Yes.
Right.
But, I mean, by now we would have been
everybody laughed
Eric.
at Prince with this little signal, his insignia thing, so there's no way that they were going to change that.
What is your...
No matter how he felt.
Do you have a middle name?
My middle name, it would be Eric, yes.
Oh, your middle name is Eric?
Yeah.
Fred Eric?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it says on that legal form, Fred Eric?
What do I have? Is this a court? I have to present legal documents?
No. What was your middle name when you were born?
My middle name when I was born. Now, that's another reason I dropped it. This is just bullshit, but I'll tell you anyways. My godmother, who was the one who stole my father from my mother, gave me the name Leo.
Leo, oh yeah, you hate that.
So
Fred
there you
Leo.
go. So
That's the worst
He
name.
stuck me with 2 shitty fucking names, the last name and the middle name.
Did you drop the Leo now? Now you're Eric Fred.
It's beyond.
Are you Eric Fred Norris now legally?
It's whatever you want it to be today.
What does it say now in your legal papers? Eric Norris? There's no middle name? Or is it Eric Leo Norris?
Eric, go fuck yourself, Dad Norris.
Try that.
What is your full legal name? That's all I'm asking.
Fred Eric Norris.
Oh.
Fred Eric Norris.
So your
How's that for
name
you?
isn't Eric, it's Fred.
You are Fred.
Oh, please.
No, I mean, honestly, I don't know. Are you Fred
It's a
Eric?
slow morning, right?
Or are you Eric Fred?
What, no phony phone calls over the weekend?
I've got tons, but I got to get to the bottom of this. Just tell me your real legal name. Is it Eric Fred or Fred Eric?
Yes.
Tell me which.
Whatever you want, man.
Come on, Fred, we're trying to find out.
Honestly,
yeah, right.
just want to know your legal name.
He just said Fred Eric.
You want to
right?
find
No, it's
out.
not. He
Oh,
changed
give
it
me
to
a break.
Eric.
But then he just said Fred Eric is his legal name.
I don't think so, though.
Fred, what is the big deal? You won't tell us your legal name?
That is my legal name.
What?
What do you want from
Just
me?
give me your legal name.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you is your legal
That's my
name.
legal name.
Fuck you,
Fuck you.
Norris.
No, are you Eric
It
Fred
really is,
or Fred
actually.
Eric? Are you Fred Eric or Eric Fred?
I'm not talking about it anymore.
Why? What? How have I offended you?
You're not offending me.
Then why wouldn't you answer?
Because you're just annoying me now.
No, why can't you be answering me? Are you Fred
You know what's
Eric
great? It's like,
or
you know,
Eric
Robin,
Fred?
what'd you do this weekend? And, Artie, what'd you do this weekend? Okay, and let's spend the next half hour.
Let's
No,
fuck with
you
Fred.
I smell a recount on the greatest moment ever next week.
Fred, what makes this funny is that
Yeah.
you won't answer. I mean, like, what's your legal name? Eric Fred or Fred Eric?
It's Fred Eric Norris.
Now we're done.
Okay.
That's it. Don't
Thank
hold
you.
out. Fred Eric Norris.
I didn't know Fred was
Because I know
anywhere
because
on the
anytime I
paper.
offer any information, then it goes on for like another half an hour, and then another half an hour, and then another half
Oh,
an hour.
stop it.
Stop what? You're the one that started.
Why would he make his middle name Eric? I thought he
I don't
changed it
know.
to Eric.
That's what, didn't we hear my new name, my legal name is Eric Norris?
Yes.
You didn't hear it from me.
Yes, you did.
It
You
came-
said on the air. I have a
It
tape.
came from Blababooey.
Blababooey.
You mean McKine?
Mackay.
No, I was working on dates from the clips from the Artie date, which is a riot. But I just sat that on my desk and I heard blah blah bluey or something. So what did I do, Freddie?
Nothing.
Oh, what'd you do? Nothing.
Mark, you're on the air.
Just
You
being you,
stabbed
man.
him in the back.
You're just being you.
Yeah,
It's
Fred
what
also
you
did,
do.
I'm sorry, I don't want to.
I have more if you want, Fred.
Some of my favorite
More
bizarre
what?
Fred stuff is.
What's with you, dude?
Wait, what? What'd you say, Fred?
I said, what's with Gary?
No,
What'd you do?
I was trying to say I heard him goofing on me and I wasn't sure what I would.
No, you said you were the original one who got into
I
this.
said one little thing and he gets in.
No,
he
Fred, I
gets
just was trying to
bristly.
figure out what happened. Calm down.
Am I right?
No, you're wrong.
No, all right. Well,
I
Benji's looking at me with that silly, sweaty look. So
No, you called him blah blah bluey.
you goofed on me and I'm just trying to figure out why. That's
no, I
all.
said, maybe what was it? Blabber.
Blabby.
Blabbermouth.
Which is
Blah,
what he
blah,
is.
blabbermouth.
That's his job, and that's what he does, and he does it well.
Or blah, blah,
see, that's
booey.
patronizing.
Why were you the one who figured out that Eric was his new name?
I don't remember that, but
Oh,
it's
yes.
very possible. How did we figure it out?
Very possible. Yeah, I think you were looking through the logs or something like that.
The logs.
Oh, you signed your name Eric?
The logs, or it was either the logs or like an FCC license or something like that.
I don't remember that. But Fred, if you looked and you saw Artie had some papers and it said, James Lang, you wouldn't think that was odd?
I figured that's his business.
Oh, my
What
goodness.
show do you work on?
Oh, my goodness.
But that's how Gary justifies.
What is it?
when
You justify by writing crazy questions and stuff.
But that's creative, dude. That's what I do.
Well, I'm not
So
as
then
creative.
that's what you do.
I'm not as creative as
But
you.
I've given you credit for that. I said that's what you do.
Let's listen to what
That's
Mark.
how you excel.
Let's hear what Mark says.
Well,
This is great. 20 after 6 of a brand new week, and Fred's already on the ropes. And if he never changed his name to Eric, like he just said, then how did Gary see it on some legal
I know. How
so
did?
he was saying, he was signing
Because it was
things
all
Eric
there.
Norris.
Yeah, exactly.
Where were you signing things, Eric Norris? Honestly, oh, you have
Probably-
to. You
probably
signed
on
the
the
log,
log,
and you decided to try out your new name on the log.
Got to use it somewhere.
Oh, because with the FCC, you want to make sure your legal name is
Well,
on
there
there.
you go.
Doesn't he think if the FCC started looking through logs and one day they saw Fred Norris and then all of a sudden it became Eric Norris, even
Yeah.
the FCC would have to question that.
But his legal name is Fred Norris. He
I
says he's
know.
Fred Eric. So why did he sign his? He signed it Eric Norris. Why would he do that?
I don't believe this Fred Eric thing for a second.
I don't either.
Jets stun Pats, outcoach Belichick. Cavaliers at Knicks, 7:30 p.m. on MSG. Okay.
Don't get me started on the Giant game. I'll start crying. I'll change the subject right
Fred,
now.
why did you sign the log Eric?
Katie kissed off by Lauer.
Why did he sign the log Eric
I don't know.
if his new name was Fred?
And he's never
Jet, show him who's the boss.
he's never said that anybody should call him Eric, and yet he was signing the log.
Hold it. Fred is on. Thanks, Mark. Fred's on the phone. Hi, Fred. That's Fred's sound effects machine is on the phone. I'm sorry.
Oh my
Klitschko Briggs, a sorely needed bout.
Fred's sound effects machine. Is there anything else you want to say to Fred? Hello? All right.
That's stuck.
I'm trying to see if Howard still has the tweaking he had in him during the Rainbow Room episode.
Knock yourself out.
Your sound effects machine is on the phone. Fred. All right, thank you. Thank you, sound effects machine. All right.
I think it's a kind of a one-note sound effect machine.
I think Fred's reaction to this is guaranteed. We'll have to bring this up again.
Oh, God. I'm not. You
Like I would expect it would ever change.
I'm confused.
I am too.
Honestly, I don't even mean to make a joke out of it. I respect you. I don't. It's what's funny is your reaction. Your reaction is so funny. In other words, I don't understand why you didn't change your name to Eric. Why Fred Eric? And then when you signed the FCC logs, you
Why'd
switched
sign
to
him
Eric.
If Eric is your middle
Well, that's
name.
the mysteries of life.
Yeah, you can't do that. I have to contact the FCC.
Feel free.
I think they're going to have a problem.
So
with
what
it.
does he sign the logs now?
F Eric.
Does he?
I don't know. There's no logs. We're on satellite.
Yeah, you don't really have to
Oh,
sign them.
what did he sign them before? Did he ever switch back to Fred Norris, or was
No.
it always Eric on the
Eric.
log?
Eric Norris Wong. He took on a Chinese.
A Chinese name?
Norris became his middle name. That's the next name change. All right, Fred. Well, you continue to be a mystery.
Oh, okay.
You really do. Yes, Ann.
Yeah, congratulations, Artie, on your Carnegie Hall appearance. How did it go?
It was good. It was fun. It went very well. It was a good time.
I was there. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. Congratulations, Artie.
Thank you.
I didn't get I don't know how to contact you. I would have called you.
Thank you. Yeah.
But I thought it was wonderful.
Oh, thanks.
We had a good time. There were 4 comics there. They all did very well. It was a fun night. I was very happy for you. And then Artie brought out Dana at the
I
end.
missed that part because
you left?
I got out of there a little early and I forgot that you said there was going to be a special guest. And I thought, oh,
He
crap.
trots Dana, his girlfriend, out and has the whole place sing happy birthday.
Yeah, how
to
did
her.
she look?
She looked fine.
Yeah?
I trotted out at that point because I had to get out the door, but I didn't see you there, Rob.
I was on the other side of the theater. They never sit us together in an Artie event.
I know.
I thought maybe
Artie's jealous of our
I thought
relationship.
maybe that would give you guys too a chance to bolt out of there. You know.
Yeah.
Because you knew.
Thank you.
You knew it was definitely the end. I'm sure it was a little bit of a pain, but it was very nice. I
Did
appreciate.
that win her over? Did you have sex that night?
I got
or-
laid. Yeah.
You did get laid.
At the Ritz-Carlton.
No
Wow.
kidding.
At the Ritz-Carlton. Congratulations, Artie.
You got
was-
laid by Dana.
Yeah.
I hope.
We don't know.
No, I fucked Greg Fitzsimmons. It was a big night for me, and I was very happy you guys were all there. It really was. It hit me like a ton of bricks. At the sound check, I went out on the empty stage and looked. It was like fucking. It
I got
was
one question.
unbelievable. Yeah.
Hey, Art, how come you didn't invite Andrew Dice to perform with you? They want to get booed off the stage again or what?
Yeah.
Me and Dice at Carnegie, that might be a little too much, you know.
All right. Let's go over to Billy. Billy in Boston. You're on the air.
Hey, Howard. This is Billy from Boston. Listen to you guys. You guys are great over on satellite.
Thanks, man.
Howard TV is great. I just want to tell you, I was at the Artie show at Carnegie Hall, and Double A and his buddy sat right in front of us. He is the biggest pain in the ass in the world.
What was he doing?
Yeah, I looked over. I saw.
Yelling,
Yeah.
going, "Ade," whistling, and
I saw Double A at one point standing up, yell. You know, he's one of those yellers that and it's during a comedy show, and he's wearing a big jacket that says Double A on it.
oh, Double A with his number on the back.
Yeah.
I thought my buddy was gonna punch him. I said, "Oh."
And he's
geez,
like right up in front in the second row, so he can interact with Artie and the gang on the stage.
Really? Wow.
He thought he was part of the show, yelling and everything.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. But Adi, you were great over there.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you coming from Boston.
All right, thank you. Jay Boogie, you're on the air.
Hey now.
Hey now.
I want to hear about, how they did, like what happened after, like how romantic was it? Did you two have dinner in the hotel room?
Well, there was an after party at Caroline's, which all you guys should have known about. I'm sorry. if
I
you
knew
didn't.
about it. I went home to bed, though.
I didn't know about it.
It was like it was pretty crowded. It wouldn't have. I only stayed for like a half an hour. But Howie Mandel, who also performed that night as part of the New York Comedy Festival at Town Hall, he came.
Oh.
So my mother and sister went. So we went over. Me and Dana went there. We had some drinks, and then I had a room at the Ritz. So I had to take a bunch of pictures that I promised Caroline I would do. And after that, we took a cab to the hotel, and it was romantic. Yeah, I had a nice suite there overlooking the park, and
How did you take her?
I said, look, come on, hey, how about the entire Carnegie Hall saying
Artie
happy
got
birthday?
totally
How about a
nude.
little something? I did not get totally nude.
So whatever happened with Stephanie?
Yeah, what happened?
Well, I had a
Was
big, I had a
there any
big,
date?
I had a big weekend. I figured since she was out of town, I don't want to leave her hanging, so I figured we'd do the date.
Yeah, we set Artie up on a dating game date, and the girl was just so cute. And from what I hear, you guys had your date set up for Friday night, right?
It was up in the air, but she
Yeah.
told me, listen, I have to leave Sunday morning to go back to St. Louis.
Right.
And I...
From what I hear, this chick was way into Artie.
Uh-huh.
They
Yeah,
went out
I
on the
was-
date Friday night, and did you fuck her too?
No.
Oh man,
What's wrong
What
with
am
you?
I, some sort of... What's wrong
You're
with
a
me?
stud, is what you
I don't
are.
believe he's with Dana, by
Kind
the
of a
way.
slob
You
am I?
don't?
Nope. Don't believe it for a minute.
Why not?
Because I don't believe it.
Why would I go
It's a
through
ruse.
a ruse? What the
Well,
fuck
who's
am I
he
doing
trying
that
to
for?
fool?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I don't buy it.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about, but I mean, why would I go through the trouble?
I don't
of...
buy Fred's first name. I don't buy you and Dana as a
You're gonna
couple.
have to buy them both.
I don't know what's going on with Artie because listen, I'm not. I'm
What
not
are you
privy.
saying? He's gay?
No, I'm saying
needs to
no.
come
He's
clean.
nothing. He's nothing gay about
I don't
it.
understand what you're talking
Because
about.
that's the only reason you would fake having a girlfriend.
I don't believe that him and Dana are together as a couple.
Why do you? Why
I
do
just
you
don't
think
get
that?
the vibe. I just can tell.
What do you mean?
It's
I don't
not
understand.
happening. It's not happening.
Look, afterwards, John Hine went on
They might have-
Pharrell's show.
Right.
And he said that he thought Dana and Artie were going to make it through the
No.
long haul. They were
No
going to
way.
get through this, and they were it forever.
No way.
Yeah. Well,
no effing way.
well, I want to know what you're basing this theory on.
All right. Here's my theory. My theory is
I can't wait for this.
that Artie and Dana went through hell together, through thick and thin.
You mean the age?
I'm talking about heroin.
Yes.
Okay. She saw him at his worst. Now, again, I don't know. This is my speculation. Artie hates when I speculate, so maybe I should just keep my mouth shut.
No, go on. Don't listen, Artie.
Do you want to hear this or not?
I'm
And I don't
listening.
want anyone to be insulted, but I'm just telling you my theory.
Okay, there's an insult coming.
They went through the heroin thing together, and a couple to survive that. Did she know you were on heroin when you were on it?
No.
Okay. So,
Wow, that's good, Artie.
that's what I'm saying. So she's got to feel like, how do I know this guy?
Ah.
How do I know him?
Right.
This is my
How
guess.
did you keep it from her? That's amazing.
And I'm saying, yes, they might fuck here and there. But I don't see how Artie's going to win back her trust. Now, he's got this new broad that I set him up with.
There's no new broad
Clean
that I...
slate.
Excuse me.
I don't have a new broad.
I set him up with a girl who's a doll.
It's a radio contest.
They got a clean slate there.
You can start from ground zero. Nothing on the blackboard
They
yet.
call that tableau rosso.
Rasa.
Ground zero.
Whatever.
Ground zero is a good term for me in dating, by the way.
Tableau rosso. All right?
Yeah.
And this is my feeling that this relationship between
It's
Artie and
doomed,
Dave,
huh?
I don't want it. I mean, Artie's in love with her and everything, and I love Dana. I'm not saying anything disparaging here. I'm just saying I don't see how this relationship is going to survive. I gave the guy a brand new broad who's clean as a whistle. You know what I'm saying?
And in love with him.
Looking at him with goo-goo eyes.
Clean as a whistle.
Yeah, she's 23. How dirty could she be?
Only had 2 guys or something.
Yeah, something
as far
like
as
that.
I remember.
Chick is A, presentable. She dresses well. B,
Presentable.
Sweet.
you could take her to your mother.
Yeah,
C,
well, so what the fuck? What is Dana? Fucking
no, but
Well,
you
we
got
just
Courtney
baggage.
Love?
used too
You
much
got baggage.
baggage.
I'm not saying Dana's Courtney
Well,
Love.
what
Dana's
about
a great
the,
girl.
What about the
You
bail-
fucked it up.
She knows the baggage I have. This new chick.
She didn't go through it with her. You, as
She
far as
didn't see you.
she didn't see you every day while you were on heroin.
To give her 2 weeks.
I'm
mean,
just
what
telling
I-
you got a rough road ahead of you with this Dana because she's always going to have in the back of her mind, hey, Artie was on the big H.
Whatever.
And anytime you do
You got a
anything
rough road,
weird,
that's
she's going to be
all.
looking at you like, is that a sign?
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it ain't going to work. But
Yeah, I don't know. Look, I don't know either if it's going to work or not. I'm just saying right now, you know, stuff is all right.
You get banged occasionally, then you guys get into it, then you're on the phone again yelling at each other and arguing. Yeah, I don't know if you need this aggravation. But you're in love. I understand.
Well, I don't know what are you giving me advice through all this bullshit? Or
no,
I don't know.
I'm not saying anything because I've pulled guys aside a couple of times in my life and given them advice.
Yeah.
They never listen.
They never listen and they hate me for it. So I'm keeping my
Ooh.
big fat fucking mouth shut.
Let me ask you
It's
something.
too late
then.
for that.
What do you mean too late? I didn't say
Oh,
anything.
you're hating him already?
No, I'm just saying, with your big mouth
I'm
shut.
always right, though.
Howard, how do you sit there and say?
Right.
How do you throw your hands up in the air and go, I didn't say anything? You
I
said
didn't say
everything.
anything. What did I say? I said-
Everything.
am I wrong? Are you having a hard time? You guys, you still haven't worked it all out. Am I right or wrong?
Well, I mean, it's not what it was when we first got together.
Thank you.
But I
Thank
mean,
you.
well,
Thank you.
it's way better, 1,000,000% better than it was 4 months ago.
Look,
you
it's
know.
hard to recover from something like this. I ain't saying it's impossible, but it's always going to be. Then she's going to throw it up in his face all the time. You know, it's like when you're screwing a girl in
Well,
her
how do you know?
ass.
But how do you know? See, all you know is what I talk about here. How do you know there's stuff I can't throw up in her face? How do you know it's
Well,
not an
that's
equal
great,
give and
isn't
take?
it? That
She's
you
got the
learn
big.
all
I'm just
that
saying.
stuff.
She's
I'm
got
just
the
saying
big
that,
age. But what
there's-
good is that if you're throwing shit in her
Yeah.
face and she's throwing shit in your face?
I'm just saying it might stop her from throwing any shit, and then there's no shit at all. Then we just live like a
Nah,
regular
you're
married
saying-
couple.
You're
Give
saying
it
there's
shit,
something.
throw it.
You're saying there's something I don't know about
No,
that you could
I'm
throw
just
in
saying,
her
of
face.
course, you don't know anything about the full relationship other than what I say on the air. I mean,
So you're telling me, in your own Artie speak, there's a few things here in the history of Artie and Dana that you could
She's
throw in
not
her
been
face.
an
She's not
angel.
been an angel.
nothing on the level of heroin.
Right.
Well, what is?
What? What the hell could she
You
have
got
done?
nothing
You
on
know,
her.
sometimes she doesn't listen, Rob.
Oh. What,
But,
you smoke some
I-
weed? I mean, come on. What are we going to talk about?
What is she doing? Angel dust?
Yeah.
What the hell could it
No
be?
drugs, unfortunately.
Now, if you're telling me she cheated on you,
That's not true.
that's a different story.
Neither one of us, to the best of our knowledge, has cheated. So, you know, that's
That's
what...
not. What do you have to throw? You got wiffle balls to her baseballs. It sounds like.
You got wiffle balls.
Well, I mean, look, if I dated Ma Barker, she'd have shit on me. I haven't had the
Listen,
most
I'm
pristine
just
life.
saying.
I'm saying, what's the difference between within a month, this new chick or any new chick would have a bunch of shit to throw anyway? I'm not. It's not like I'm. It's still me. They're dating me and not a new person. The
You got
ammunition this
clean
other broad's
slate.
gonna
Well,
have
you know
is gonna
what? Tableau
pile up
Rosa.
in a minute.
Tableau Rosa.
What the fuck, tableau rosa is?
You know what I mean? Blank slate.
You know what it is? The new chick.
Blank slate.
The new chick knows all of your faults, but hasn't lived through any of them. So you're
Yeah.
starting at a better place.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
you lived
she's
through them
still-
within
This
4
one's,
months.
this
Well,
one's coming
hopefully
into the
not.
heroin. She already knows.
What are you going to do in 4 months?
Right.
You got something planned?
God only knows.
Old Dana knows the
I'm done
heroin.
making promises
the new
to
Dana
myself
doesn't.
and anybody else.
Old Dana knows the heroin. The new Dana, but old Dana didn't know the heroin. This new Dana
She
does.
knows this new the new person knows everything.
Right.
She listens to the show. She knows
I'm
about
telling
But
you.
everything.
she still sees
Perfect.
you as, Artie.
The old Dana met me, and
Not
I
a
did.
mess.
The first night I met her, I did 53 shots of tequila.
That's what we're talking about. She can't get over that.
I mean, I don't know.
Listen,
you know,
man, you do what you got to do. I just set you up with a little doll, but Dana's a doll too. I'm just saying. I hope you know what you're doing.
Do you want to hear?
I think you're an evil man.
No.
Do you want to hear clips from the date, Howard?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to know what happened on the
Okay,
date.
What was she wearing? This
Okay,
broad?
It wasn't. It was a very. We had a very nice time, but it wasn't. It was
How'd she
very
look?
uneventful.
How'd she look, Artie? Give me the bottom line.
You know, it's funny. She looked She looked like she's from Iowa. I didn't realize she grew up in Iowa, and she moved to St. Louis because it was.
Look at her! Look at that picture.
That's funny.
Wow.
Oh, is she cute?
Wow.
You're fucking nuts.
She moved to. I mean, see what you're saying is such an insult to Dana. Like,
No,
right
it's
there.
not.
I mean,
You guys
yes,
get
it is.
along.
You're
You're not-
fucking nuts.
I'm looking for you. It's not an insult
Stop
to Dana.
looking for me because you're aggravating the shit out of me.
No, listen to me, Artie. Artie, look at me. I swear I don't mean any offense. You guys you're telling me every day you come in here, you guys are fighting on the fucking phone.
I'll guarantee you one thing, Artie.
Yeah.
That a picture of you and Dana wouldn't look like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
it would.
Dana would have this worried look.
I
on
have
her
5 of them from the other night. Where
Show
they look
me,
just
I'll
as
show
good.
You. She doesn't
Smiling?
look
Just as good.
As innocent and hopeful as that.
And I'm telling you, it's me. It's not the woman, it's me. Within months, this broad will have a bunch of shit she'll complain about too.
So you
That's
should
all
never.
you broads do is complain
you're
about
very
shit.
So you should never go out with any girl again. 'cause
You're
they're
very
all
Maybe
gonna-
you're right,
You're
Gav.
very negative about yourself. I don't like to hear this. You just came off a big night at Carnegie Hall. Now
Yeah.
you're back in
yeah,
the
I was going to
slums.
say, how could Artie be negative?
I'd love to marry Carnegie Hall.
What are you
Fucking
eating?
Stay there. Cookies.
That's what he's eating.
You know what's funny about that picture,
famous
Howard?
Amos, number
Marry
146.
famous Amos.
You know what's funny about that picture?
I don't do interracial.
You know how people send us photoshops of Artie? That when Artie was 260, that was the Photoshop picture they sent. You know what I
Right.
mean?
I'll be quiet. Leave
No,
Artie
it's
alone.
not, McKine.
All right, so
Well, so let me tell you about the date. Let me tell you about the date.
Well, first of all, like I said, she's from Iowa, and she moved to St. Louis. She really is she's a sweetheart. She's wonderful.
girl.
But she bought this new dress for the date, which is a very conservative dress, and she really looked cute. You know, I mean, she looks like that's like she looks like a
She's
chick
nice.
unaffected by New York, and I bought her a new dress for the date, and it was funny. Like during the date, I drove her home with Isaac and the crew in the back seat, and we were behind a garbage truck, and she said, she wanted to like jokingly yell at the guy to move, and I said, don't do that because of the mob. And she goes, what are you talking about? She didn't know the garbage is run by the mob. I thought that was the cutest thing ever. She goes, the mob runs garbage?
See,
I'm like,
but
yeah.
she knows nothing.
She goes, why would they want that business? I'm like,
You could teach her a lot.
well, anyway, but we had drinks at my place.
Oh.
It was a nice.
Oh,
yeah, but
you
I mean,
brought it to the Artie's lair?
she came over. Yeah, I didn't feel like going out.
Oh, my goodness.
The laziness is starting already.
So so now she knows where you live.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think she's gonna like.
No, but that's great.
That's in your apartment?
Then now she can come
That's
visit
in my
you.
apartment. Yeah, that's the terrace.
She can come visit you.
It wa-
Smart. That's a stern move if I ever heard one.
well, yeah.
Let me show you where I live, just in case you want to come over
Come
one
to
night.
my
It was more
lair.
like, let me show you where I live because I don't feel like going where you live.
So you're having drinks. What does she drink?
We had it. Yeah, it's funny. I asked her what she wanted. I had some wine and a bunch of booze, and she said, "I'll just take a beer." She actually drank a Heineken out of the bottle. And I had a Heineken, and it was a nice enough night to sit on my little terrace there. But the whole time, Isaac and the other guy. I mean, it's like
Right, you got the whole crew
you're doing
there.
retakes of shit,
Right.
which is
Yeah,
just.
but that's a good icebreaker for you.
Oh yeah, it's wonderful.
No, come on, you got to admit
It was the most annoying thing ever.
was?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where
but don't
was
you think
Dana?
it's kind of an aphrodisiac for the girl to see, this powerful man, even his dates are filmed. He's got a camera crew.
I wish I had a camera crew at every date. Impress the chicks.
Well, it is good in case they try to yell out some sort of date rape thing.
Right. Where was Dana? Did Dana know about the date?
Yeah,
She
everything
did. She
was up in the
cool.
open and fine. She knew
All right,
about it.
all
She
right.
actually was out with her sister. Her sister took her out for her birthday.
Oh, that's what she calls that guy, her sister?
Yeah, go ahead. Yes. So you
Terrible,
had the
Rob.
date. You had beer and alcohol.
Yeah, so we went up there. It was a nice enough night. This is like I was telling her, too. You lucked out with this trip. It's the greatest November in the history of
Yeah, the
November.
weather was beautiful this weekend.
So we went out on my terrace, which has a view of the city or with the river, and we had the beer out there. We had a nice discussion, and then she was telling me more about how she studied forensics in college, and now she's
She's a bright
sales.
girl.
She really is. And we had a lot of fun talking, and then we went down to actually a restaurant where
You
Robin
took her to
went.
Wayne Manor.
You
Your
know,
home.
Lua. Remember that place, Rob?
Yeah, very nice restaurant.
Beautiful restaurant on the Hudson River.
Yeah.
And I thank God my buddy owns it because we had to come in with like a fucking crew.
I love romance. Harvey.
And he gave us a table all the way in the corner where we could set up the camera. And then we had this place, Lua in Hoboken. It's on Sinatra Drive. It is, actually.
Yeah, Doug described the meal to me.
Do yourself a favor. I got the pork shank, which is extraordinary. She had raviolis. I was
Listen to
teaching
this.
her about Gindaloon shit. It was fun.
Oh, this is from Isaac. At dinner, Artie ate a good amount of food. They both started off with a big bowl of lobster bisque. Then they shared appetizers, shrimp skewers, quesadillas, and a tuna dish. I thought they
Oh,
were
my goodness.
I thought they were done after eating the appetizers because the bis combined with the appetizers was a lot of food.
It was.
Then Artie's entree arrived at the table. It was unlike anything I'd ever seen. It was a giant roast pork shank.
You know what it looked like when Fred Flintstone gets the giant rib in the beginning of the
and he throws
Flintstones?
it on the back and it tips the car.
That's what it looked like.
It looked like something you see at the king's table in the Middle Ages. It was a huge piece of roasted pig on a bone over a bed of rice.
Fantastic.
They let a pig over to the table.
I asked the owner how much food it was. He said it was over 2 pounds with the bone.
Wow.
We, of course, have a full Howard TV special of Artie's date. Stephanie ordered a ravioli dish. For dessert, they shared, listen to the amount of, oh, here they are. There they are eating.
Look at Artie.
Look at Artie.
Tearing off that meat off the
Look at that
bone.
shrimp.
Man, no wonder she's in love with you. Look at you.
I look like a bear.
You got to see this.
I look like a bear.
Yeah, look. Oh,
Yeah, they say they're bears in Jersey.
And then I stole one of her raviolis.
let me hear. Let's see. Artie, what's that you're scooping onto your plate?
That's guacamole with the quesadilla.
Oh, my goodness.
After your big lamb shank?
This place is like look at the size of
my
that. That's the lamb shank.
Holy shit.
No, that's a pork shank.
Pork shank.
It looks like a ham.
Dude, the other half of that was the sandwiches during the Giant game, by the way.
Dude, let me ask you a question. When you eat that much food,
I enjoy
don't you get
myself.
super gassy? Like it's hard to be on the date because you got to shit and fart and everything?
Not immediately on the date. I mean, the next day is kind of rough, but
Oh, hey, and also, while I'm all over the place, I do want to clear something up. I went to see Artie at Carnegie Hall.
right.
I went out to dinner beforehand, before Artie's show. I was with Ross and Melissa. Mm-hmm. So at, I don't know, I made sure to pee before I left, you know?
Yeah.
So I get to the show, and I say to the guy, I'm just nervous because I don't know how long the show's going to be. And I figure, well, maybe I'll pee again. So Ross and I, we say, is there a bathroom? We walk in, and it's the public bathroom. It's where everyone goes from the audience. I take one step in, I say, oh, my God. The whole audience is here. Everyone's screaming
This is
my
at
name.
Carnegie Hall.
Yeah.
Right.
Everyone's no, it's fine. Everyone's screaming my name. And so I go, oh, I was going to walk in a stall and pee. Within 2 seconds, some guy was shitting in there. It was so bad. It was wafting. So I just turn around and leave.
That was me, by the way.
And Ross and I leave, and some guy yells out, "Hey, Howard, you're the one who fucking stunk up this place or what?" Next thing I know, 2 people now are going around writing us emails saying that I took a shit at Artie's
Right,
Carnegie
if you
Hall.
walk into a bathroom and it stinks, it's
Yeah.
your shit.
It's my problem. So
That's so funny.
now I find myself defending myself. No, I wasn't. First of all, I'd rather die than shit in a public bathroom,
Don't you think
especially around all my fans.
Don't you think the entire audience knows that?
Yeah.
I mean, you would never.
Well,
would you?
I just was accused by 2 people because you never smelled whatever came out of this guy's ass is definitely illegal in this country.
I like to know that my fans are relaxed enough to shit at the concert.
Oh my God, there was such shitting going on before your concert.
That's great.
Incredible.
Howard, do you want to?
What about when you eat a pork shank like that and appetizers and lobster
Let
bisque?
me ask one thing. Have you ever heard of bite size?
No, I like that play Gemini. Take human bite.
I can tell you didn't care about impressing this chick because like you're using your fingers and you're in there and the shank.
That's how that's every date in the history of my. That's me at the prom. You want video of that?
Stuck the entire bone in his mouth and pulled it out with no meat on.
That's how you eat.
Would you eat that much on a real first date or would you be on good behavior?
I've eaten that much on other first dates.
You have?
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
Howard-
what the fuck? Why?
Why hide it?
Yeah. Why
I
give false
respect that.
advertising?
I respect that. I can't stand heavy people who don't eat in front of anyone.
Well, the appetizers too were so big that I didn't actually finish the whole thing. I took it home and I did. I made sandwiches during the Giant
Well, yeah,
game.
it says here, Artie couldn't finish all of his pork, although it looked like in that thing he did. So he took it home. He also took Stephanie's leftovers home with him.
Yeah. She didn't want the ravioli, so I should throw it all in there.
Yeah. Artie drank only 1 beer the whole night. A fan came over to the table and bought Artie a whiskey and water. But Artie took 1 courtesy sip and didn't touch the rest of the drink.
Oh, nice.
A lot
What's
of
that all about?
Artie's stories on a date revolve around food. He talked about White Castle, a BLT he ate in St. Louis, Lombardi's Pizza in New York, and how his mom makes great sandwiches.
All his experiences are food.
Let me ask you something. On a real first date, would you make a doggy bag and take it home?
No.
No, me neither.
No.
Oh, what the fuck? I mean, I don't know.
When Artie drove Stephanie back into the city, he was pointing out landmarks along the trip, but they were all restaurants. He pointed out Magnolia.
What's in New York? Restaurant.
He pointed out Magnolia Bakery, John's Pizza, Caliente Cab Company, Mexican and Katz's Deli.
We went up. I took her up Bleecker Street. That's bull. First of all, Isaac, that's
You can
bullshit.
hear all that.
It's on tape. I showed her where Dylan played his first gig in New York, the bitter end. I gave a lot of music history. Fuck him. I showed her where I yelled Baba. I showed her where I yelled Baba Booey's name in 1989 in Gary's ear.
Isaac says this is
outside
art.
the back fence. It's historic now.
As Artie was leaving the apartment to go to dinner, they had finished their Heinekens, but instead of pouring them into a sink, Artie insisted on pouring the beer in cups and walking to the restaurant with the beers. Another odd, very college-like thing to do.
Wow.
I like
That
walking drinks. If I got a little buzz going, I like to keep it going.
Isaac said the other weird thing that Artie was doing was when he gave her a tour of the place, that he was showing her the rooms, but he wouldn't turn on any of the lights.
Artie, it says here, Artie must not be used to having guests over his apartment because when he gave Stephanie a tour of his apartment, he took her into the office and bedroom and never turned the lights on. It was kind of odd to be walking into dark rooms.
No. The lights were fine, just not for a television shoot. Isaac was like, we need more lights in here. I'm like, no, we don't. Who wants to see me in the light on a first date?
Got a good point there.
Do you want to hear any of this stuff, Howard?
Anything good?
Well, it's funny. I pulled like 5 or 6 clips, and basically,
I was sitting there. The reason I think the proof that it shows we got along so well is because it was very easy conversation. I don't think anything fascinating.
Would you? Let's say you and Dana do break up. You don't ever know what's going to happen with you two. Would you call this girl?
See, I don't know. Here's the only thing. Like, I got the vibe that at the end that. I don't know. I mean, it's funny. Like, if I was single and I made some sort of physical move, I don't know if you would have been too responsive.
You know what? We should actually have her on the phone to find out.
That's what I thought you were going to do. You should have called her.
I'm waiting for Artie to.
I hear she's in the hospital.
I'm waiting for Artie to double on back in about 2 months and go, Gary, give me the number of number 2 who wanted me to put my cock
Well,
in
here's
there.
the thing. Here's the thing. Like, if I could see a scenario, Dana will dump me. I'll call this chick in a month. She'll go, no, I just wanted to get on the show. Fuck off.
No,
and
you see,
I'll
I
end
didn't
up on
get
a
that.
bridge with a bottle of Xanax.
I didn't get that vibe from this chick.
Well, she was. Look, we're joking around. She was very sweet, adorable, so much fun to talk to. She's only 23, but it didn't feel like talking to a younger person. She was very mature, smart, had a
Trust me, with that body, she was very mature.
She had a great sense of humor,
Yeah.
and she looked very nice in her dress.
Was there any physical contact? Did she touch you at all?
We hugged at the end of the night and kissed on the cheek.
She didn't jerk you off?
Yeah, no, Isaac did.
Yeah.
But she was naive about it. She's not dumb. She's very smart and savvy and kind of hip. But she was naive in New York in a very cute way. I found that.
That'll get old quick.
Refreshing.
Yeah,
No,
well,
that's
no.
refreshing. Believe me. Yes, go ahead.
Go to Gary preview page 2. So I pulled like 6 clips, but the theme of the date, the date's very uneventful, except for the fact that all of Artie's conversation does revolve around food.
All right, here's Artie talking about devil dogs and White Castle.
This is in his apartment.
All right.
You always talk about devil dogs, and I've never heard of one.
I can't believe you never heard of a devil. Maybe it's just an East Coast thing, but I grew up. I couldn't imagine a world without devil dogs.
Or tasty cakes. I've never heard
That's a
of those.
Philadelphia company, so maybe that's just the East Coast. I know they're based in Philly, but I'm almost positive. It's funny, like, you have White Castle in St. Louis. I'll tell you a story. When I was a kid, I would always eat the White Castles and look at the side of the box, and it said every city it was in. So I'm doing stand-up years ago, a midnight show at the Funny Bone in St. Louis, and I'm on stage. It's like 1 a.m. and I'm starving. I can't even think about my shit jokes. I'm just thinking about how the fuck am I going to eat? Because it's not New York. Nothing's open.
Oh, yeah.
So I remember as a kid on the side of the White Castle box, it said St. Louis. And I went, hey, is there White Castle here? And the place you would have thought I was like Springsteen going into Born to Run. They went, White Castle. And I said, can anybody give me a ride? And these 4 guys in the front row gave me a ride to White Castle.
You just went with some band?
Yeah, I do that a lot.
That girl had to be impressed. Wow, Artie went to St. Louis and was at White Castle.
It was great.
What is it, guys?
Artie's just about to give the menu of what he had at White Castle.
Oh.
We went and I got like 10 double cheeseburgers and a shake, and I fell asleep in my hotel room. The Adams Mark in downtown St. Louis with cheeseburgers on my chest. That's how I woke up.
Hot.
That's got to turn a girl on.
What a picture.
Just being up front, honey.
Go ahead, Isaac.
She really liked Artie. I mean, she said in a couple of years she's thinking about moving to New York.
Is that right?
Yeah. So.
She said less than that. She loves New York City and wants to move
So
here.
he's insane, right? I mean, she liked him.
Howard, what is insane about me? I have a girlfriend.
No.
What is
You're
insane
that you think that the girl. No, forget that. I'm not
all
talking
about
about
that
that.
shit.
You
You have such a bad fucking self-image.
I do, but not enough to where I would not call her. If I was single, I would totally give it a
all
shot.
right.
Yeah. I'm just saying,
So she's going to wait a couple of years. Artie won't be alive in a couple of years. She's got to
Exactly.
move to New York now.
That's the other thing I told her. I said, "You're 23." I said, "Think about it. I'm 39." I said, "Do you really want to be changing my diapers in 10 years?"
She loves New York, and she really likes Artie.
Now, what's the
Well,
second
it
clip?
sounded like she knew
10.
all about you.
All right, here's Artie talking about how he.
God, I hate hearing a playback of one of my dates. This is a nightmare.
What is this? Where Artie takes food home?
Yeah, this is where he wraps up his stuff, her stuff. But wait, there's a great moment here. It's more visual. But they're wrapping the stuff up, and they say, "Is it okay to take her plate?" And before they take it away, or goes, "Give me one of those." He takes a ravioli off and eats it.
You know what it was like? Remember the dinner date in beer league? We had the thing where the guy brings out 2 entrees and they were both for me, and we thought that was a joke. And I'm listening to this. That's exactly what I do.
By the way, pictures of Artie's date are on howardstern.com. So if you want, but here he is. Here's Artie making sure to take home food.
This time, I'll take this home if I want to be really obnoxious.
I would take it home.
Just a bunch of bread. It's like sandwiches for the Giant game tomorrow.
Yeah.
A good rye bread with it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right, you talked me into it.
Yeah, you gotta take it home.
Hey, Jace, could you actually wrap this up for me to go? And I think, well, she's not done yet, but yeah, I'll take.
I'm done.
You sure? Wait, I'm gonna steal one more. I love this. Just, yeah, you could throw all of it on. You want this too?
No, you have it.
Throw it all in there in one bag. The whole thing. And then the dessert menu. Sounds good. Check it out.
You took home bread so you could make sandwiches for the Giant game?
What happened was I would get the rye bread at the bakery myself. I didn't take the bread home, but she had about 3 raviolis left. And when she said she was done, I said, "I think I'll grab one more."
Wow.
But
then you took the other 2, right?
Are you up to 300 pounds yet?
Then I took the other 2.
Get on that scale.
I'm not.
What do you
300.
weigh?
I'm not 300 pounds.
You're
From that
293.
dinner alone, come on.
Maybe later. You'll want it later because I'll be eating more.
All right.
I'm just a little.
Now, what does the next clip say,
You're
Howard?
still too exhausted.
Well, then
candy
we had the chocolate molten. The candy store in St. Louis.
So Artie now tells a story about when he was in St. Louis. He went to this candy store and took a tour, but it's all about food.
Crown Candy. A few years ago, I announced on the show, I was watching the Food Network, and I saw some candy shop that makes homemade chocolate shakes in East St. Louis with
Crown Candy Kitchen.
Yeah, Crown Candy. Okay, so I
Yeah.
see a whole special on that, right?
Yes.
And I
that's right.
noticed that 3 weeks later I had a gig in St. Louis, so on the air I said, "Man, I was watching the Food Network and I saw this Crown Candy place in St. Louis and I can't wait to go to try it out." We talked about it for like an hour. My gig sold out in like 10 minutes. I went to Crown Candy when I got to St. Louis to eat. The place was mobbed with Stern fans.
Really?
It was so funny. And I ate like a big cheese. That was so good though. I had a bacon BLT sandwich. Like,
Yeah.
most perfect BLT, perfect amount of bacon, lettuce, tomato, and then a big fat chocolate shake.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy knew I was coming, the owner, and he took us in the back and gave us a tour of, the chocolate. He let me dip a spoon in the chocolate coming out.
really?
Oh, it was so good.
Wow.
You talk about candy, how Jeff the Vomit Guy talks about vomit. I mean, you're just in love with it.
We all have our fetishes.
What am I, the crazy one? The chocolate, make your own chocolate.
I like chocolate.
Wow,
I don't
boy,
get
oh
it.
boy, this is some date.
Is this a usual date? Like all this food
Yeah,
conversation?
they're usually this pathetic, absolutely.
This
is bullshit. This is pulling the fucking. We talked about a
Bakery
lot of
pizza
shit.
tour.
Okay, so this is great. So Artie's in the car now. He's driving her back, and he may have pointed out other landmarks, but this is what I heard.
All right.
Now we're Magnolia Bakeries around here.
Ooh, I love the cupcakes.
Yeah, where we just passed it. And, oh no, there it is. That's it. It's always a fucking line, no matter what time. That's a good pizzeria right there.
Yeah,
And
that's great.
did you ever hear John's Pizza? Did you ever hear people talk about that? There's like a few of them there. That first one, I think it might
That's the
be
one you
still-
said to go to, right?
No, that was the one I was talking about was Uptown. But the restaurant is Frank's. Remember I said,
Oh, Frank's.
Don't forget that 2nd and 5th, Frank's.
Oh, yeah. And then here's Artie finally capping off the night with Katz's Deli.
That's a good one. Wow. Katz's is a legendary Jewish deli in New York. And I was telling Steph, she's always thinking about new places to eat in New York. Go absorb all the booze at the end of the night with a pastrami from Katz's.
I love
It's
pastrami.
unbelievable pastrami. So check that out. That's a new place you could try.
If she had said to you right then and there, let's go get a pastrami, could you have done it?
At that point, I don't know. It might have been.
That would have been rough.
Cats is good enough to wear, maybe. Yeah.
Well, there you go. There's a lot of people who want to. I mean, I am running late here. I do have to take a break, but a lot of people do want to comment on Artie's date, and let's hear what they have to say. Eric the Midget, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Artie. I heard a few minutes ago Robin make a comment about your pork shank coming to the table. She said that how they let that pig at the table. Well, they let you there. You're a pig.
Eric, nice.
Oh, wow.
Eric's been trying out some roasting jokes.
All right, Eric, thank you. Way to put down Artie, man. You're really on fire today.
You're killing me.
Yeah.
I mean, stop it. I'm going to cry.
All right, let's go to Ken. Ken, you're on the air.
Hey, now. How you doing, Howard?
Hey, now.
You know what? I was on the howardstern.com. Man, Artie's date is hot.
Yeah, she's a very hot girl. Very nice girl.
Cool. Mexican and Irish. Very nice combination.
And by the way, I like Dana very, very much. You know I do. I love her. So
I don't think you like anyone but yourself, but go ahead.
You might be right about that. Marianne from Brooklyn, go ahead. You know what? You're right.
Oh, my God, Howard, this is sickening. In a couple of years, Artie will be telling us, we told you so. Artie, this thing with you and Dana's got to stop. Either sit or get off the pot, Artie. I'm sick of hearing it. I just can't take it anymore. The girl was so nice. I saw a dial-a date. You didn't even give her a chance. You're talking about food and restaurants. How boring. You think a man like you would be a little more creative on a date?
Shut the fuck up! Oh, my God, shut up!
Siobhan, you're on the air. Go ahead.
They're all coming in.
Artie's after party was awesome. I went there. I met Dana. She was very nice.
Siobhan came to the Carnegie. Were you at Carnegie Hall, too?
Yeah, Irish John gave me a ticket to go.
Oh.
I couldn't believe it. I had no idea.
Does Irish John have tons of money or something?
How does he get all tickets to everything?
I think he makes a good living, but he definitely has great contacts for tickets. I've seen him at Knick games in the second row, Yankee games. He's got contact. But I like John. John's a good guy. He's very supportive
Eric, you're on
of
the air
everything we do.
Go ahead. Hey now.
Hey, Artie.
Yeah.
Can I be? It sounds like you had a wonderful night.
Yeah, she's great.
I want to know, can I be your next date?
Sure. What do you want? You want a lamb shank?
Let's go to Joe. Joe in Fort Lauderdale.
Hey now, Howard.
Hey now.
Hey now, leave Artie alone, will you please? I was married to a junkie for 10 years.
Oh.
Let me tell you something. Dana's going to stay with him as long as it takes. It's her choice. If she wants to spend this much time in and out of a junkie relationship, that's her business.
All right, I'm out of it. I just wanted to know what was going on. I'm curious. I'm asking
you're
the
not
question.
Being fair. It's not just Artie's call. It's Dana's call.
That's true, too. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, I do heroin for 4 months. I'm Sid Vicious
I
already.
just hate to hear the term junkie and Artie.
There's no
Come
junkie.
on.
No one's
Artie's
a
no
junkie.
junkie.
Not a junkie. I mean,
How
once
dare
a junkie,
you?
always a junkie, basically, you know.
I just,
Sorry, Artie, I love you, but you know
junkie,
what?
come on. I just,
He just likes junk food.
I do. Why do you say I'm a junkie? I'm just addicted to heroin, coke, and every other. God, the jokesters on this show, when will it end? They busted my chops about the date. Go figure. They said I talked too much about food and I ate too much and I probably was gassy, which is wrong. I was a complete gentleman. And Isaac and the rest of the charlatans at Howard TV edited the piece so it looked like I talked about nothing but food. I talked about museums, culture, music, some plays, my favorite Harold Pinter plays, Chekhov, and they leave in me talking about pork shanks. So fuck everybody. I had a good time, and I think the chick is hot, and she wants me, so I don't know.
Well,
That's it.
You know, what happens if things don't work out with Dana?
Then I'm calling this chick immediately, along with a whore on 9th Avenue and 37th Street I've gotten to know at a red light.